Cancer is a continuously growing global health problem that poses major challenges, most especially in developing countries. Find out how this international distributor of innovative health products came up with a series of solutions to help increase a patient's chance to survive the odds. In 2020, the Philippines hit a record of 354,398 prevalent cancer cases within a 5-year period. But because of poor access to health care, especially for people living below the poverty line, the advances and breakthroughs in cancer remain unattainable to many.
Cancer refers to a group of diseases that's characterized actually by cell growth, abnormal cell growth and proliferation, inflammation, as well as angiogenesis or formation of new blood vessels. It always starts with mutation in the genome or the genetic makeup of a person inside the cell. Before PPARs, most of my patients, they were unable to finish the chemotherapy regimens because of the side effects and because of discomfort during the process of chemotherapy.
Maria's son Dominic was diagnosed with stage 4 rhabdomyosarcoma when he was only 4 years old. While coping with the recovery of her other sick child, Maria found it hard to accept Dominic's condition.
It was actually very devastating kasi with Dominic, it was manifested mga 4 years old na siya. Unlike dun sa daughter ko na congenital talaga, baby pa lang. Yung mga bandang September, meron ng umuumbok-umbok dito sa leeg niya. Hindi ko talagang inisip na cancer kaagad siya until nag-nosebleed siya.
Dominic was prescribed chemotherapy, but his family insisted to rush to an integrative doctor to seek for alternative cure.
Medyo hesitant ako kasi as a mother, I know the side effects ng chemotherapy kasi. So what I did is that I rushed towards the integrative doctor of my daughter, who happened to be PPAR partner doctor of Simply Nature.
One of the hardest decisions to make for people living with cancer is choosing the kind of treatment that would work best. To help patients and their families deal with this growing health problem, one company commits to producing safe, credible, and natural health solutions by drawing on the latest bioscience technology to deliver a series of safe, efficient, and natural products. What is Simply Nature and what does it do?
Simply Nature is a company we created and founded about 10 years ago. Our mission is to find effective health solutions for people. So we provide natural products that work in combination with conventional therapy and medicine.
As an international company that provides natural solutions for cancer, metabolic syndrome, and degenerative diseases, the management upholds a health philosophy that centers on whole food nutrition as the frontier in health management.
When we talk about choosing treatment, especially in the area of cancer, patients are really afraid of chemotherapy because of its side effects, and they tend to then look towards natural products. But this is not a either conventional or natural choice. At Simply Nature, patients can have the best of both worlds. Our protocols work with conventional chemotherapy to minimize its side effects so that they can get the best treatment using both conventional and natural together.
Cancer is like a virus. It continuously evolves, it mutates. So it can develop defenses against our usual treatment modalities like chemotherapy.
Like I said, chemotherapy and radiation therapy have a lot of side effects. So more often than not, patients stop their treatment because of these side effects. It's very important to have the support.
With the supplements that we give the patients, there will be lesser side effects, so they will be able to finish their chemotherapy protocols more comfortably.
This company introduced PPARs, which is touted as one of the best natural ways of solving serious health problems.
PPARs stands for peroxisome proliferator activating receptors. It's basically a nuclear receptor found inside the cells. Now, when these receptors are activated, the benefit that you can get from that is, number one, cellular differentiation. Number two, it's to promote fatty acid metabolism. If you have better insulin function, your blood sugar will naturally go down. And another one is to induce cancer cell death by modulating the immune system.
As a sole distributor of PPARs, the company promotes its use to many reputable health institutions worldwide and actively organizes corporate health conferences and public health talks in Asia.
Simply Nature PPARs is made out of a special strain of these types of microalgae. It is very effective by protecting the bone marrow. We maintain the integrity of the immune system of the patient, which is very important to prevent infections and to fight off the cancer itself. And also, Simply Nature PPARs is also very dense in nutrients so that the patient can recover faster because of better cellular healing.
Sabi ko parang na-lead kami to an extraordinary and I must say amazing journey. I'm very proud of him. At a young age, na 8 years old, he believed that it's his purpose to siguro encourage other people then. We would like to really pay it forward with the knowledge that there's really like Simply Nature that can help people with cancer very much.
When fighting cancer, living healthy is very important because it allows us to pursue what is important to us in life, and that's what it's all about. When we can help a patient move from being bedridden to getting up, to be lucid in thought so that they can have conversations with their loved ones, it gives the whole process of fighting cancer a whole new meaning. And that is what drives us at Simply Nature.
But I really wanted to share yung poem from Chadao. So 100 years from now, it will not matter what my bank account was, the sort of house I live in, or the kind of car I drove, but the world made the difference because I was important in the life of a child.
Good morning, everyone. We are from Simply Nature, and that is Tito Shen, and I'm Tita Jesslyn.
Hey, Poliana Jansen. Jesus loves me.
Jesus loves me.
For our gratitude, Mr. Shan.
Ha? Ito na ba ang mga sundalo ng Israelita? Maliit man ako sa iyong paningin. Malaki ang aking Diyos. Tutulungan ako ng aking Diyos at lalabanan kita at tatalunin kita.
Nayanig ang paligid sa pagbagsak ni Goliath.
Si Mother Ricky, pasalamatan naman natin si Mother Ricky at palakpakan din natin siya kahit siya ay nasa ibang lugar ngayon.
Paano kayo hindi gagaling, di ba?
Pinupurit, sinasamba kita.
And Lord, we believe you for testimony from every child in this place. In Jesus' name we pray. And all God's people say, Amen! Hallelujah!
Nung 2022 po, yung parang inipon ko talagang pera pambili nung Simply Nature, nung vials, ng PPARS. Yun po yung iniinom ko.
Cancer lang siya, strong tayo. Kaya patuloy lang po tayong lumaban kasi may Panginoon tayong gumagabay sa atin lagi. Yun lang.
And on behalf of the Simply Nature team, God bless you all. Maraming salamat for blessing us this day. We hope that we have made you all happy. God bless you once again. Here in Simply Nature, we are always with you from start to healing. Thank you, everybody.
CA markers.
Mataas siya. Then, nung after 3 months, nung pag-take ko ng Simply Nature, doon, naging normal na siya until now. Kahit si Dr. Johan na gulat siya kasi biglang normal agad in just 3 months, nag-normal agad yung CEA ko. 1 year and 5 months. Cancer-free. Dapat may food supplements kayo. Like Simply Nature na proven and tested ko na. Talagang hindi ako pwedeng mawala ng Simply Nature na yun.
2019, I was being diagnosed a cancer of my uterus. So I was shocked. Sabi ko, bakit nagkaroon ako ng ganito? Samantalang hindi ako mahilig sa pagkain. I'm sorry, basura. Started the tablet and then the powder. Tinry ko din yung yung tawag dito.
Gel?
Yeah, yung gel. Yes. It's really good. After 2 months ng aking therapy and taking PPARS, sabi ni doktora, magpa-laboratory ka na. So, nung nagpa-laboratory na ako, praise God, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, lahat normal. To God be the glory. Salamat sa Diyos. Sa 2 months ko po ng aking pag-take ng PPARS, ako po ay cancer-free.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Simply Heal. This is Shan and I'm here with Dr. Jansen Calalan.
Hello everyone, hello Shan, happy to be here.
Last week we did a segment on CKD, chronic kidney diseases. This month is actually Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. So we're going to focus a little bit downwards now to colorectal cancer. Dr. Jansen, colorectal cancer, what are the statistics or general statistics for this cancer?
It's actually one of the most common cancers in humans. No? It's one of the top 3 causes of death for cancer. No? Then it's actually very common.
This episode is just as important to you as any other episode on cancer, because colorectal cancer is quite evenly spread out amongst men and women. Doc, let's start. How does it begin? Every time when we do our AMA Ask Me Anything segment, which we will have today as well, questions always come out. Is it genetics? Is cancer genetics, or is it because of what happens after we are born?
Yeah, the reason for the onset of cancer, mostly, the reasons would be environmental factors. Meaning that would be the environment where you live, your lifestyle. So that 95% of the reason for cancer onset, for cancer occurrence, is because of the environment. Only 5% is because of hereditary issues.
Wow. I see here 2 new terms that Dr. Jansen is going to introduce to us. One is the word sporadic and the other one is familial. So Doc, why don't you explain to us and what these numbers mean?
Okay, so for colorectal cancer, we have a combination of genetic and epigenetic alterations.
Okay, another new word, epigenetics. What is epigenetics?
Okay, so epigenetics is the influence of the environment on our genes. Yes, okay, so our genes can be turned on and off based on how our lifestyle is, based on the environment where we live in.
So epigenetics is the study or the field where researchers look at how you turn on and off genes. So whenever you hear epigenetics, it means it's in your hands. You get to choose whether you switch on some genes or switch them off. It can be for your benefit. It can also lead to diseases. So Doc, in other words, we can actually switch off a gene that will cause you to have cancer.
Correct.
Wow, that's exciting.
The other way it goes
also true.
It's also
we can
true,
switch on cancer in our life.
You can switch on certain genes or turn off certain genes and promote cancer occurrence, which we will talk about later.
So Doc, let's move on to the 2 new words you're going to introduce to us today, sporadic and familial, and how that is reflected in the numbers.
Yeah. So for colorectal cancer, 75% of the colorectal cancer occurrences, the reason for the occurrence or colorectal cancer happening is 75% sporadic. Sporadic means it is acquired. Okay?
Sporadic means it's acquired. So it's not, you're not born with it, it's something that you do, you were exposed to, or you ate.
Yes. So this means that you were exposed to carcinogens. Okay? So 25% of the reasons of colorectal cancer development is familial. So familial would be, as the word implies, it is hereditary. So it is
family.
Yes, it is inherited. Okay. So even if we divide the factors in developing colorectal cancer between sporadic and familial, okay, this leads to common genetic pathways that eventually lead to colorectal cancer. Okay.
In our conversation earlier before the show, you mentioned that there are actually 3 specific pathways that get affected from sporadic, which means your choice, environment, and familial, which means your genetics. These 2 will actually affect 3 specific pathways that will, over time, develop colon cancer. Doc, it's a bit technical, but could you give us a quick overview?
Okay, so the number 1 reason would be chromosomal abnormalities. Okay?
Chromosomes. That's the thing that we think of when you make babies, right? Y chromosome, X chromosome, yes. You get male and female.
Yeah, but that's just one subset of what chromosomes are. No? So chromosomes basically are your spools of DNA. So imagine
the information. It's
information.
Where they store your information.
Yes. So imagine a thread, right? You wound the thread on a spool.
Yes.
So it's very similar. So the thread would be your DNA strands. Now
the whole spool of wound thread is a chromosome.
Yeah. The spool of thread is the chromosome.
It's the chromosome. Yes.
Yeah.
And it actually looks like that under the microscope.
Yes, it looks like
It
that.
actually looks like that.
Okay. However, this is the difference. No? When we say chromosomal abnormalities, so abnormalities in the spool of DNA. Okay. What are the abnormalities here? It would be the structural. So there are structural changes. Probably one leg is shorter than the other. You have multiple legs. Okay. You can even have the chromosomes. The other half is missing. Yeah. So these are structural abnormalities. You can also have abnormalities in the number of chromosomes. So you have an extra one wherein it should not be there at all.
Okay.
So these abnormalities can develop to cancer.
So did you cover all three already?
No, that's
That's just the chromosomal. All right.
That's one. Okay.
All right. So that's why we need an entire episode if we want to go in detail.
Okay.
The second one.
So the second one would be, so this one is mutations in the DNA repair mechanism. So remember, the DNA gets damaged every single day, every single hour, every single minute, every single second of our lives. Okay. However, our body repairs the DNA. The DNA have repair mechanisms so that whenever there's an error in the code, okay, automatically the DNA repairs itself.
Wow, it's amazing. Our body is actually so good at self-healing.
Yes.
Self-correcting. And again, for all cancer patients and to our viewers, as you learn all this, you would appreciate the fact that if you just feed your body correctly, eating the right stuff, living the right lifestyle, your body has an incredible ability to heal itself. Even at the DNA level, your body has maintenance crews, right, to go around and patch and make sure things are okay.
Correct.
So this is such a strong encouragement for you that you can get well from cancer and that your lifestyle, your daily choices make such a big difference.
Yeah.
So Doc, that's the second one.
Yes.
The repair mechanism is unstable, it goes haywire.
Yes, the repair mechanism have errors themselves.
Okay, so the gene becomes damaged.
Yeah, the
becomes
damaged
in
gene
error.
stays
in error.
Stays in error
And then develops into cancer.
Yeah, it is the error is passed on to the next generation.
And then compounds.
Then it compounds. Then now when cells, colorectal cancer cells have the same error, then they replicate. So this eventually will lead to abnormalities in the pathways. You will eventually develop the cancer.
Later, you're going to show us a diagram on the progression of cancer, and everything will become clearer. What's the last genetic pathway that sporadic and familial causes will affect?
Yeah, so the last pathway is not actually a very unique pathway, but it is also one of the common occurrences that scientists have found. So this pathway, the CpG island methylator phenotype pathway.
Wow, okay. You've lost many of us.
So anyway, you don't have to understand this, but just know that this pathway also occurs in tandem with the DNA repair mechanism mutations or the DNA repair mechanism errors. Okay, so yeah.
Doc, there is this thing called signaling pathways, and you want to touch on this because next week
this is very important for the solution.
Okay, because we're going to talk about a problem this week, and next week we're going to talk about the solution and how PIPA protocols really go into solve this. So this is very exciting for cancer.
Yes, so it's very important, So just read the highlighted
green,
the highlighted words in green. So these are the cell signaling pathways that gets affected with the abnormalities of these mutations. Okay, so your WNT, your TGF-beta, your PI3K, your RAS pathway, TP53 signaling. So all these.
Quick question to help all our viewers at least understand a little bit. What is signaling when you're talking about here?
Okay, cells talk to each other.
Okay.
Okay, so how do cells talk to each other? It's mainly
by using chemicals.
By using chemicals, molecules, That's how they talk. And
so
these are the pathways.
You've given us an overview. We know sporadic, familial, they then affect three genetic pathways. So can you give us the overall big picture? How does actually colorectal cancer develop over time?
Yeah, okay, so we've talked about, this is how it starts, no? So number one,
We see the picture on your screen.
yeah,
Alright.
environmental factors occurs, no? So you get exposed to carcinogens. Now your DNA gets damaged. When your DNA gets damaged, repair mechanisms are also when your DNA is damaged, your repair mechanisms are also erroneous. The DNA errors are brought on to the next generation. Now, when that happens, cells will replicate uncontrollably. Okay? Now, when cells replicate uncontrollably, now you will develop a mass. Okay?
Like in the picture.
Yeah, like in the
small
picture.
benign growth, a polyp.
Also known as a polyp, which is a precursor to colorectal cancer. So all colorectal cancers start as a polyp.
Okay, so this is a question many people ask, right, during the AMA, even in our other cancer programs. They ask, I have a growth in my colon, will it lead to cancer? The answer is yes.
Yes, someday it will.
It could.
However, all polyps also start as benign.
So they start harmless.
Yeah, they start harmless. However, if you don't do anything about it, they can become malignant. Okay, so how does a benign polyp, a benign small polyp become malignant? Again, we go back to the genes. So now you see this diagram. Now, take a look at the arrows. No, so a normal colon epithelium. Okay, how does a normal colon epithelium develop a polyp? You have a loss of tumor suppressor called APC. Okay, so by its name, no, tumor suppressor gene. So this gene suppresses tumor growth. Now, when that mutates or loss of function of the tumor suppressor, it's like your brakes malfunction. So when your brake malfunction, what happens? You crash. Okay, so this is also a polyp developing because of a loss of function of this suppressor. Would also mean like you crash. Okay,
you crash.
Yeah.
So there's an accident. There's a growth now. There's a polyp.
Now here's another thing. How does this small polyp, thing, no, grow into a larger one? Now you have to have something that pushes its growth. So now imagine your brakes malfunction. So your brakes are not working anymore, and then you push, and then you step on the gas. So now you crash faster. You crash harder.
The car wreck becomes bigger.
So it's also like this, no? So the small tumor now enlarges. Okay. Now, next is again, if the carcinogens are still there, nothing has been changed. No, more and more genes will follow eventually into becoming mutated. So now the growth will accelerate. Okay, and this thing becomes a cycle. Eventually, your benign tumor will become malignant.
And I can see the time frame is like 10-20 years.
Yes, so this doesn't happen overnight. Okay, take note that this whole process happens in 10 to 20 years. So 1 or 2 decades is quite a long time.
This 10 to 20 year progression just gives us the information we need to know that just because we feel okay today doesn't mean we don't need to change our lifestyle.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got to change my lifestyle. You have to too. All right, Doc. So now that we know how it develops, when should we start screening for this? Especially now that we know it takes like 10-20 years to develop.
Okay, so when should we start screening? So when is a matter of age, no? So for colon cancer, like all other very common cancers that we hear and know of nowadays, is the most important risk factor here is age. Okay, so as we age, our risk of developing cancer really increases. So the onset of colorectal cancer screening is at age 50.
Okay.
50 years and up. So,
but what if your family has cancer occurrence?
If someone in your family have colorectal cancer, screening should start 10 years earlier.
So age 40.
Yeah, around age 40. No, not really age 40, no, but it would depend on when the family member was diagnosed.
Wow, so that means if someone in the family actually got colorectal cancer at 35, even as young as 25, you
have to start screening already.
This is very important to know about your medical history of your own family.
Here's how it is for cancer screening. Why do we screen earlier? Okay, Okay, so for colorectal cancer, since colorectal cancer is a cancer that is very common in the older population, when colorectal cancer is found outside of the age group where it is common, usually the cancer is more aggressive.
Okay, because it's not normal.
Yeah, it is not normal.
It occurred earlier than
It
before.
occurred earlier, so the cancer is
most
very
likely more aggressive.
very malignant. So if before age 50 you develop colorectal cancer, please do everything you can. The approach to treatment will also be very aggressive.
So the younger you are and you get a cancer, that means the cancer you got is very likely even more aggressive.
Yes, especially if the cancer is found commonly in the older population. It's
Okay.
also the same for kids. So if a cancer is very common in the young population, especially kids like your acute lymphocytic leukemia, if acute lymphocytic leukemia occurs in the older population, it is also very aggressive, and the chances of surviving is quite low. Okay, so knowing this, you have to realize how aggressive your approach should be.
So basically, anything that's out of its age category is
Bad news.
Bad news. Now, how do we actually screen for colorectal cancer?
So there are a number of ways, that's a number of tests that is in existence already that we have. So number one would be your stool sample. So that would be your fecal occult blood test or your fecal immunochemical test. Okay, so this is just a stool sample. Again, annual. This test should be done annually, starting at age 50. But of course, again, earlier by 10 years, depending on when a family member gets diagnosed with colorectal cancer. If the initial result is positive, you do not need to repeat the test.
Oh, that's good.
Because a positive test for this is already reliable. There's already a very high chance, rather, that you probably have colorectal cancer. But again, if this test returns positive, it doesn't mean that you have colorectal cancer.
So don't scare yourself.
Okay, don't scare yourself. There are plenty of reasons why this will turn positive, because this is blood in your stool. Now, the colon or the intestine is very long.
So there could be many reasons.
There are many reasons. Hemorrhoids, a bleeding hemorrhoid will turn this positive. Okay.
So for the fecal occult blood test, the key thing here to take note is, if it's negative, you're clear.
You're clear.
Okay? If it's positive, it means you need to do another test.
Yeah. If it's positive, you need to go for the consult.
You need to go for a consult.
There's something wrong.
Okay, there's something wrong, but it may not be cancer. So the important thing to take note for this one is, if it's negative, you're clear, you don't have to do any more tests.
Yes.
Now if it's positive, go for a consult.
Yeah. Now, if you are someone who would like to, be more frugal, so to speak,
save money.
There's also another way, so you can have a DNA stool test. You can do it every 5 years. Okay?
That's cheaper?
That's not necessarily cheaper. I'm not quite sure of the price, but I mean, it's every 5 years rather than annually, right?
Okay.
So I mean,
the other one. Oh, sorry. So the fecal occult blood test must be done every year, starting from age 50. So 50, 51, 52. Oh, okay.
Annual, okay? The stool DNA test and the FSIG is done every 5 years.
Wow, I have to start mine soon. I'm turning 50 in 2 years.
Yeah. Okay, so next we have the more sophisticated tests, like your double contrast barium enema, your CT colonography. So this procedure is also done every 5 years, starting at age 50. Then the last one is the most common one, which is your colonoscopy, okay, which is done every decade, every 10 years, starting age 50.
Which is the most uncomfortable? The colonoscopy?
Yes, the colonoscopy is the most uncomfortable.
Because they actually put something...
They put in a camera up your...
Okay, up your needle regions.
Yeah.
Up the... Okay. Yeah. But it's still advisable to go for one every 10 years.
Yes. The beauty with colonoscopy is it is both diagnostic and
therapeutic.
If
you see something wrong, they can
immediately excise it. Right then and there, they excise already.
Okay, another benefit of a colonoscopy is, of course, you saw the progression chart just now, right? The colon cancer starts as a polyp, it grows bigger, and then becomes malignant. So if you do a colonoscopy and they find polyps along the way,
they can
just
remove it outright.
and get it up. So don't even allow it to develop to medium size and large size. So do go for your colonoscopy starting age 50 and another one at 60. It's like trimming the hedges to prevent that weird branch from growing out, right? So yeah. Okay, I see doc, questions are coming in. People are gonna ask probably what foods cause your genetic damage. So without further ado, let's go to the Ask Me Anything, our AMA segment.
Hi everybody, good evening. My name is Sheila and you are watching another episode of Simply Healed webinar brought to you by Simply Nature. My name is Sheila and you are watching another episode of Simply Healed webinar.
Alright, there was an echo. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Simply Healed. I saw in the opening sequence today is episode 103. Wow! Doc Jansen, thank you everyone. I can't believe we actually did 103 episodes. Numbers don't lie. We are the longest running, consistent, every Thursday here to answer all your questions. So a big thank you to everyone. You made this possible. You are the reason why we find energy to do this. And we had a great show last week. Great time. I really enjoyed all the questions. It was really fun. And I hope tonight will be just as fun. Doc, you want to say something?
Yeah, good evening everybody. We're already 2 years worth of episodes, right? So
103,
really
almost
amazing.
2 years worth.
But it felt like it's just a short period of time, no? So thank you everyone for continue watching these episodes. Okay, so yeah, let's get on with the questions.
By the way, just of course, I wasn't able to introduce you to. Of course, this is Dr. Jansen, Calalan, a lifestyle medicine doctor, and of course, our CEO of Simply Nature, Sir Sean. Sir Sean, just before we go to our first question, I just wanted to please thank all the VIPs who attended our last night's VIP meetup. We have some VIPs attending tonight as well. Thank you so much. And just like what Bea said, our topic tonight is how does cancer colonize your colon? Questions are very much welcome. Let's start.
Oh, wait. Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry.
Yeah, Sheila, sorry to interrupt. Since this is Ask Me Anything, that means I can say anything, Dr. Jansen. So today is cancer, but this afternoon before the show, I was discussing with Dr. Jansen that one of the things in my heart, my passion, to look for a solution is actually brain disorders. So I have a passion and a very strong interest in the area of Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's. Yes, I haven't started in-depth research and all that, but it's something that how many of you, right, when you are studying I guess mathematics in school or history, you are thinking you want to be an astronaut. So while I'm doing all these cancer stuff, and I'm studying TCM for cancer purposes, there is another dream in my heart, another area which I really like to explore, and that is in the area of brain disorders like Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's. And on the other end of the spectrum is actually autism. So the good news is I've stumbled. The Lord has opened a door, and I'm exploring these particular topics. Hopefully, sometime later this year and maybe next year, we'll have some really concrete progress. If the viewers out there tonight, if this is something that you think is important, could you just type something in the comments so that I can also be encouraged? If you find that the topics of dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and for older people, and the topic of autism for young kids is something that is also of interest to you, then let us know. All right, please comment there so that we will know also that we are heading on the right track. But I was telling Dr. Jansen, dementia and Alzheimer's, Doc, it's really close to my heart because number one, my parents are that age. And it will be it's a nightmare and very tiring, taxing, financially, emotionally, everything, if one of your loved ones and you end up being the caregiver. So this is something, and of course, we ourselves, I'm turning 50 next year. Okay, I'm turning 50 next year, so I want to know, is there anything I can do to avoid developing all these illnesses, dementia, Alzheimer's, you know? Yeah. Okay, I've said my piece. Now we can go back to today's topic. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to share something from my heart. Yeah.
No problem. Our hearts goes out to all the neuro patients out there.
Yes.
All right. So the first question that we have here, or go, coming from Miss Deseva, doctors, is it safe to take probiotics powder like Golib brand that's just being dissolved in water to ingest?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, if it's FDA approved, yeah, it's safe. I mean, okay, nothing goes through FDA that can that might bring harm to a person's body, you know. So probiotic powders, they're fine. Okay, it's okay to ingest.
Doc, maybe on a follow-up question on behalf of the viewer. I've noticed in the last 5 years, more so now than in the past, because in the past, I wouldn't see probiotic powders in health food stores. The probiotic that everybody all over the world, especially in Asia, knows is Yakult, right? Yakult. But in the last 5 years, probiotic products have been entering the shelf, and they are nothing like Yakult's price. Yakult is what, 25 pesos, something like that. Probiotics are like 1,800 pesos for 1 month's supply. So it's a totally different pricing. So I noticed that there is a stronger interest and market for probiotics. So could you share with us, are probiotics in general good? Do we need to supplement probiotics in our modern day lifestyle, especially if we are not plant-based whole food?
Yeah, okay. So role of probiotics, no. Aside from supplementing, one medically indicated one disease, no, wherein probiotics is indicated is diarrhea. Okay, if you have acute gastroenteritis, especially kids, usually, of course, if you have diarrhea, it's either viral or bacterial, right? So if it's viral, usually we just supplement with probiotics, especially for kids. I mean, you cannot, of course, if it's viral, which more often than not is the case, no, especially for kids, you don't give them antibiotics, of course. No? So what can you give? Probiotics. Probiotics can reduce the duration and the frequency of the bowel movement, okay, or the LBM or the loose bowel movement of kids, no. So aside from that, if you are on antibiotics for a very long period of time, yeah. And you now begin to experience what we call C. diff, no? C. diff infection or C. diff colitis is very common in developed countries, wherein they frequently, prescribe a lot of antibiotics and they eradicate your gut microbiome. Okay, so after such treatment, no, of course, your gut microbiome will be, the gut microbiome will be eradicated. So what do? You give the person probiotics to restore the gut microbiome. Okay. Another one, medically indicated condition is HIV. Okay. HIV, wherein you have you're immunodeficient. Okay, your immune system is not functioning well. So this is the period. This is the time, or when you already develop AIDS. Okay. This is the time when the fungal infection increases already. So you are not just infected with bacteria, you are not just infected with viruses, but because your immune system is not functioning well anymore, and you've undergone a lot of antibiotic treatment, fungal infections will surface.
Wow, that's like the Last of Us, the HBO series right now, fungal infections. Cordyceps. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
sorry.
to suppress the fungal growth, give probiotics. Yeah. So those are just some. No? What other conditions can, can probiotics be a benefit? So this is not. Can I say not medical? Yeah, it's not, medically indicated per se. Probiotics was not manufactured for this diseases, so it's an off-label use. It can be used as a supplement. Okay, so for your asthma, atopic dermatitis, any kind of allergic diseases, probiotics can help because probiotics can
boost your immune system.
Not really boost, no. It's like they can tone down the immune system.
Okay.
Prevent it from overacting.
Oh wow!
Okay?
Calm down the immune system.
Calm down the immune system so that your atopic dermatitis will reduce in the flare-ups. The symptoms will not be so severe. So these things, of course, topical probiotics. There's also topical probiotics in the market out there, mainly for the same purpose. No, you can just apply it as a moisturizer. If you have skin lesions, rashes, you can apply probiotic topical products, no, on top of your skin, like AD Pro. There are others. Yeah. So those are some.
Just to summarize everything Doc has said, so our increased use of antibiotics is so commonly used, so easily prescribed right now that it has really hurt your microbiome in your gut, and that's very important to modulating, or how shall we say, managing your immune response. So it comes down to prevent overreaction in your immune system as well. So that's why people are taking probiotics. Now I'm going to ask another question, last question in regards to probiotics sometimes people go overboard because it's a supplement. So they say, oh, if I take 1 vitamin C a day is good, I should take 10. So sometimes some things like vitamin C, which are water soluble and easy to flush out of the system, it's not so dangerous. When it comes to probiotics, obviously, if we follow the dosage on the box, that is fine.
Yeah.
But is it an unwise thing to, like, let's say, do 3 times what the box tells you can take?
Yeah, probiotic overdose.
Yeah,
right?
if you overdose on probiotic, is it something that is dangerous?
Let me check. No, in principle, medically speaking, it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't. Let me see. Let me check. Yeah, it shouldn't. Overdosing. If you overdose on a certain type of strain, will it cause
an imbalance as well?
An imbalance.
So again,
no. It won't. So it's perfectly safe, even if you.
Even if you eat too many.
Yeah, even if you eat too many. So for example, so in the Philippines, one brand of probiotic drink is Ursiflora. Okay, so Ursiflora is Bacillus clausi, no? So usually, what doctors prescribe is 1 vial 3 times a day. But when you buy it, it's in a packet of 10, I think, 10 vials. So can you drink all 10 vials all in one go? Although I haven't tried it, but it's okay. You won't feel any adverse reactions with that. Although, of course,
you might get a stomach upset.
Stomach upset or you might get flatulence as well. So those are some
things that you
correct, can expect.
But it also corrects itself easily when you stop.
Yeah.
All right. So no permanent long-term damage. And again, please, don't go 10 times the recommended dosage for like 1 month. Okay, so as long as you do it within reason, it should be safe. All right, so I think we've covered probiotics very comprehensively. Yeah, Sheila, you wanted to add something?
Just to clarify, this does not include the very common in the market, the small.
Yako is high in sugar, so if you drink a lot of it, you're going to have the same problem as drinking 10 cans of Coke. Okay, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next question coming from Ms. Javilian Sigson. Colonoscopy is a painful procedure. Is
it painful?
Colonoscopy, is it painful? It shouldn't be painful. I mean, you're on anesthesia.
Okay, there you go. You're on an anesthesia.
Awake, of course, anything that is shoved into your
from the bottom is gonna be uncomfortable.
Painful. Okay, just So yeah, if you undergo colonoscopy, you would be asleep. Some patients are awake, but they tend to be, have
Sedated.
anesthesia. Yes, sedated. You're on anesthesia. You shouldn't be feeling anything if you undergo a colonoscopy.
So that's good news. They're gonna put you under anesthesia when you go for colonoscopy, so it's not gonna hurt.
Very encouraging. Thank you. Next question coming from Miss Lilibet. Hi, Miss Lilibet of the Philippines, and of course Lilibet of Malaysia. I see them joining us. Thank you once again. All right, the question is colon cancer common in adults only?
It's mostly in adults. It's mostly found in adults. Can young individuals develop colon cancer? Yes. But on our it's more rare, no? But in fact, let me check.
Alright, while Doc is checking, here's the next one. I see Mr. Bien asking, he had a colonoscopy in January last year. The result is okay. When will be the next colon exam be? I know prostate exam is every year after you're 50. Yeah. What about colonoscopy?
For colonoscopy, it's every 10 years.
Every 10 years. So, Mr. Bien, congratulations. You are clear for another 10 years, unless there is reason that comes out in between these 10 years that will cause your doctor to require you to do a colonoscopy. But you have already done what's that called, usual checkup. You are cleared for the next 10 years. Congratulations.
Thank you. Just curious, Doc, what is the best age to start doing this regular checkup or doing this colonoscopy regularly?
So in everybody, if you have average risk, so by average risk, what I mean is you don't have a family history of colon cancer. It's at 50 years old.
50 years old. And if you have someone in your family with colon cancer, is it 10? You said 10 years before the age of the person who was diagnosed with with cancer. So that means if you have a relative who got colon cancer at age 40, you should go for a checkup at age 30. Okay, so that means if you have an uncle that is 45 years old, or an older kuya brother that is 45 years old, he has colon cancer, then you should go for a colonoscopy when you're 35. You can't wait till you're 50. As long as someone in your family has colon cancer, you have to go 10 years before the age in which he or she got her colon cancer. Now, of course, it's possible that when you hear this tonight, it's too late. That means you're not 10 years ahead. You're only 5 years. For example, someone in your family at age 45 got colon cancer, and you're only 4 years younger than him. So today you are already right. So the correct response is go for a colonoscopy immediately. All right. So that's to make sure that everything is okay. Remember again, why is it important to go for diagnosis early? Because when caught in the first 2 stages, it is almost completely treatable. Like you can get 100% success rate in treating the colon cancer. That's why it's worth it to just go for it if you have any fears. All right?
Early detection really matters.
Really matters in cancer. Everyone, please, the moment cancer spreads and goes into 3rd stage, the survival rate can be like, it used to be, you had an 80% survival chance. Once you cross to stage 3, it drops all the way down to 40% or 20%. So the difference between 2nd stage and 3rd stage cancer survival is tremendous. It's like the sky and the earth. It's a very big difference. So you want to catch cancer as early as possible. And when you catch it early, it is very, very treatable. You don't need to worry.
Thank you. Someone is asking how to consult. For those of you who wish to have a consult with Dr. Jansen and Calalan, the link for you to schedule and to be interviewed initially by our dear pretty secretary, Ms. Beth of Simply Healed Medical Group, is in the description box and on the comment section as well. So please click on that if you wish to have a consult with Dr. Jansen. The instructions are also there. All the things that you want to ask is also there to be scheduled. Okay. All right. Next question that we have. Oh, Doc, do you have the answer already?
Yeah. Okay. if it's possible for you to do it, no, I want you to Google this. Google colorectal cancer according to incidence of colorectal cancer according to age. Okay, and then go to the first link that you see. Okay, if you click that, okay, so if you click that, you will find there the incidence or the number of colorectal cancer cases according to age. No? So if you will see here, birth to 49. Ibig sabihin, meaning from
the day you're born
49,
until
to 49-year-old, no, the incidence rate of colorectal cancer is 11%. This is in 2020, okay? 11%, okay? Then when you reach 50, okay, so 50 years old to 64 years old, the incidence rate becomes 31%.
Three times.
So the cases is from 17,930 from birth to 49 years old, 17,930 cases. When you step into the age group of 50 to 64, that's 50,000 people.
Wow, so for 49 years, you only have 17,000 people in total in the entire 49 years.
Yes, this is in total. So
but then in the next 10 years, you have 50,000.
Yes, so
wow,
it's very
you can
possible
see.
to develop colorectal cancer when you're young. So how young in your 20s you can develop this, but it's very, very rare. So this data also tells us, okay, this is why it is at age 50 where we begin to screen for colorectal cancer already, because immediately at this age group you see a big jump in numbers. Okay, now the next one there is age 65 and up, no, that's 80,000 people. So from 50,000 to 80,000 is 30,000 jump, 30,000 people jump, right?
Okay.
So from the 0 to 49 years, 17,000 to 50,000, that's a big jump. That's more than double. So yeah, almost triple actually. No, so yeah,
so basically next year I'm going for my first colonoscopy.
Yeah. Okay, so now you understand. Okay, so this is the explanation behind these numbers. Okay.
Thank you. Good luck, Sir Shine, on
Yeah.
your first colonoscopy.
I'll be fine. I take so much PPARs. I'm so confident of my colonoscopy. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. All right. Next question coming from Ms. Marilyn Lucky po. Been having GERD for 2 years now. Is weight loss normal for this? I would like to have consultation with doc.
Yeah. Just to give you a bonus, yes, if you have acid reflux, of course. If you have acid reflux, your appetite will be not good because every time you eat, reflux happens. No, so this can contribute to weight loss. Although losing weight can help reflux because if you are obese or overweight, you're also more prone to reflux as well. Okay. To give you the proper recommendations, please go set an appointment with us. Okay.
Sheila, I saw one from Ms. Seva.
Seva.
Yeah. She's on a lifetime maintenance of taking levothyroxine.
Thyroxine.
Yes, that's a medication for thyroid diseases.
Yeah, since sometimes I experience constipation due to low metabolism, what diet do you recommend to regulate regular bowel movement and healthy gut?
Yeah, a high fiber diet would help, but okay, since you have a thyroid problem, this can largely influence the bowel habits more than the food you eat. Although a high fiber diet would definitely help, but even if you have a high fiber diet, if your thyroid hormones are not well managed, you can still experience same problems. But on the get-go, immediately what you can do right now after this webinar ended, when you wake up tomorrow in the morning, is go on a high fiber diet. Okay, having a high fiber diet would really improve your bowel movement if you are constipated. Also, okay, here's the thing, because I cannot make the proper recommendation because I do not know your history. So I suggest for you to go for a consult. But here's the thing, for thyroid diseases. If you are hyperthyroid, meaning your thyroid gland is hyperfunctioning or functioning excessively, you're producing so much thyroid hormone. If we relate that to the bowel movement, is that you have frequent bowel movement. So it's like you're having diarrhea. Okay, you have more than 3 times sessions. Okay, if you are hypothyroid, meaning your thyroid function is underperforming, you secrete low thyroid hormones, you can develop constipation. Okay, meaning your bowel, your colon, the intestine just doesn't move that frequently. Okay, so the solution there is to give you thyroid hormones or levothyroxine. Okay, so that's probably the reason why you are taking, or why your doctor prescribed you with levothyroxine. So that's the concept behind this, the relationship of bowel movement to the thyroid function. Now, the diet, yes, definitely it will help either hyperthyroid or hypothyroidism, because both diseases have inflammation. That's one of the reasons why it is happening. So yeah, a high fiber diet is very good, has very good anti-inflammatory properties, so it can definitely help. And of course, it has fiber, which will make which is easy to digest. Your food will just slide down your colon. Yeah.
Doc, since Miss Seva actually says she's on a lifetime maintenance, Doc, personally, I've actually have clients and patients who are hyperthyroidism that actually recovered or more or less got off heavy medication with a PPAR protocol. Do you have any idea why that would be so?
I have to take a look the bigger picture, but PPAR protocol in and of itself and the thyroid function, again, it's inflammation. Okay,
that could be it.
That could be it.
That could be it.
There are other pathways, but it could be it. Okay?
And I think it's worth exploring if it's so Miss Seva, go for a consult with Doc Jansen.
Yes.
So because I see the two words is very is something that gets under my skin. I see the word lifetime maintenance.
Yeah. Also, why do you have a lifetime maintenance of this medication? It's because probably you've underwent surgery. Okay, you've had your thyroid removed. So if you have had your thyroid removed, everything is gone, then you will need thyroid hormones, which is levothyroxine, for the rest of your life. Okay, because if you do not take this medication, you'll experience all symptoms of a person with hypothyroidism. Okay, so that being said,
could be the reason.
Constipation is one of them. So if you are on thyroid medication and you're still experiencing constipation, then I might think that the thyroid hormone is underdosed, okay, or your diet itself is the problem. Okay, so one of those things. So I need to know more about your case. So please
go for a consult.
Yeah, go for a consult so I can make the proper recommendation.
Doc, it's so nice in this program that you actually are able to already help the patient understand what they should be asking and expecting from you, right? Many times we go to a doctor not knowing why are we going. We just choose based on specialty. I have a gut problem, I go to see a GI doctor. So at least the nice thing about this program is you already have an idea what you should be asking and where Dr. Jansen will be going in his consult with you. So that's just wonderful. Yeah.
I totally agree. That's how Doc Jansen actually deals with his patients. Has to know it ahead of time before you see.
Oh yes. I always give Beth, my assistant, instructions. Okay, before you set an appointment, before I meet the patient, the laboratories have to be there so I can review them ahead of time.
Oh, Doc, you are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Miss Seva shared that her thyroid was completely removed.
Oh, so that's why.
See, so
one of these things, so adjustments that we need to do.
Okay, so that's good. So your endocrinologist prescribed you the right medication. Now you just need to check with Doc Jansen on the lifestyle part, whether it's matching your medication correctly or not, so that you can get over this constipation problem.
Your case is so simple. Come on.
Wow. Okay, it's very nice. It's always very encouraging. When the doctor says it's a straightforward case. All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Doc. All right. Another question coming from Ms. Lilibeth. Doc, what are the common symptoms of colon cancer?
Oh, common symptoms of colon cancer. Okay, number one is bleeding. You can see blood in your stool. So what color? That would be red or bright red. But don't panic, no, if you see blood in your stool, because that can be normal. Because of course, if your stool is so bulky, your butthole is yay big, okay, that can overstretch and you can bleed, okay. So immediately don't panic, okay, when you see blood in your stool. Other symptoms would be unintentional weight loss. That's also one of the common symptoms. Also, okay, this is not, okay, when you do a Google search, this is not frequently shown, no? But an experience of alternating constipation and diarrhea. That's also one. We tend to see this in the hospitals when colorectal cancer patients arrive. My mentors, no, back then in the hospital actually asked us to ask this question, or if because it's almost always there. Okay. Also, if you notice your stool to be pencil-like.
Pencil-like, very thin.
Yes, it's thin. Yeah,
because something is obstructing
yes,
the passage,
correct,
so it comes out very small.
Thin. So that's also one. No?
Okay.
Those are just some. But the more common ones among these things that I have mentioned is blood in your stool. But don't be scared, because a blood in the stool can mean a more benign thing. No? First, we have to rule out these things. So ask you, do you experience certain things? No? So it's very important to not panic. Okay, go to your doctor. Okay, don't be scared. I mean, the doctor's role is to give you answers and not to scare you, right? So, yeah.
If you find your doctor scary, just book a consult with Dr. Jansen. He's very friendly, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, there you go. That's my answer to your question.
I see, Doc, an immediate follow-up there. Looks like another person with a thyroid issue, Miss Lynn Cordero.
Yeah. If TSH, FP3, and FP4 are back to normal, can one stop taking levothyroxine? I didn't have surgery, by the way.
Depends. Okay, it depends. But usually, if your thyroid is still intact, I have to find out why your doctor prescribed you with levothyroxine in the first place. Okay, so I have to have a conversation with you, no? But don't stop taking it right on the get-go. Okay, but however, we tend to do this, no? For patients who are on levothyroxine, okay, we tend to give you the minimum amount of dose to have normal levels of thyroid function. Okay, so we taper down the medication as well. So yeah, I hope that gives you a relief, okay, sigh of relief, no? That you don't have to be on high doses of levothyroxine or be on it for long periods of time. Although for thyroid diseases, the treatment period is almost always at least 6 months. So it takes a while for the thyroid to adjust. So this is the reason why, no? So yeah, I hope I answered your question. So don't stop taking it right from the get-go, no? So,
but your response is there is a chance to...
Yes, there's a chance to eventually stop it.
So go for a consult and then, so easy. Again, I want to just highlight something which I noticed for all our viewers, all right? Because right now, the pandemic restrictions are over. EDSA is a nightmare again. Okay, it takes like 2 hours to go anywhere. So one thing I'm very glad about in the 2 years of the pandemic is the development of a teleconsulting, right? Most of us have very good internet lines right now, and we are so used with Zooming our family members. So when it comes to certain consultations where the doctor doesn't need to put a stethoscope to your chest, it really doesn't make sense to spend 6 hours, 2 hours traveling one way and coming back, and then waiting at the hospital for 2 hours just for your turn to meet the doctor. Especially when you do 6 hours, you probably only spend 5 to 10 minutes in front of your doctor. So it's like sayang, all these effort just to 5 minutes. And I don't know about you, many times my conversation with my doctor is always, I asked him something and he just said yes, no, okay, next. So it's like I spent so many hours trying to get there, and then on my way home, usually more questions pop up in my head. I should have asked the doctor this, I should have asked the doctor that. So, I want to say to everybody that, take advantage of the new development of teleconsulting, because I think it's very convenient, especially for some of the patients that are asking questions today, like the 2 thyroid patients, where the initial consult could be done at your convenience, easy from your home, and if there's nothing serious, you don't actually need to physically come down anymore, and you can go on with your life at peace, right? So so do take advantage of that. I think this is a great development in terms of what came out of the pandemic.
Exactly. Thank you, Sir Fran. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. Okay, next question coming from Ms. Lilibeth. What foods can damage, or particular foods that can definitely damage the colons, which we should avoid?
There's a lot.
Oh.
I actually gave a talk about this a while ago.
Okay. Or maybe the top three. Top three. The worst foods you can ever eat for your colon.
Number 1 would be alcohol.
Alcohol.
Okay.
Number 2 will be processed food, especially processed meat. Okay. Then,
so you're talking about spam, luncheon meat.
Exactly.
Okay. Sausage. Is sausage one of them?
Yes, sausage.
Oh my God, I love sausages.
Salted fish is also one of them.
Okay.
Your red meat, no? So I'll just clump up those things. Then another one, the last thing would be high salt foods.
High sodium foods. So things like kimchi.
Yes, kimchi, your chara,
salted fish.
Anything salted, cured meats.
Okay.
No? Cured meats are.
So smoked salmon, all these are very high in salt.
Grilled foods, although it's the way of cooking, but grilled. If you grill something, then that can be carcinogenic as well. Okay, so those things can damage your colon. Those are just some. So
Doc, just as a side interest to show that we are not meat eaters, your lions and your tigers, their colon is straight and big because they eat primarily meat. So they are designed to process meat. It goes in and out, right? But the human colon, our digestive system is, as you guys know, is all I wouldn't say twisted up, but all bundled up together. So you can obviously see our digestive system is more like the cow. The cow has 3 stomachs because it needs to constantly digest the fiber. That's why our digestive system is somewhat more like that, in between a cow and a tiger. So obviously we shouldn't eat so much meat. So that makes sense what Dr. Jansen said, eating a lot of processed food and especially meats. And I guess what you said, Doc, my favorite foods, I love sausages, I love smoked salmon. These are all not good for me, so it looks like I have to really dial them all the way down.
Yeah, I mean, you can still eat those.
I can eat, just
it's okay, just not too
really infrequently. Okay, yeah.
Well, what's sad about it is this foods that Doc Jansen just mentioned. These are the very available and readily available.
Yes, it's so.
Yeah, that's correct. And unfortunately, they are usually the cheaper ones as well. So
that's true.
If you're not financially well, you tend to choose these foods because that's what you can afford, and that's unfortunate because if that's the case, then all the more reasons for you to get sick, no? And since you don't have any, if you're not financially well, then eventually you're at a very high risk of getting sick, and an illness that is, for rich people.
Yeah.
So I mean.
Eat well, save your money.
Yeah, I mean, just knowing that, it's really unfortunate, but odds are stacked against you, but that's the reality of life, so we have to find ways on how we can uplift our lives, no? So, yeah.
Nida just declared that she got operated on colon cancer last year, approximately 1 year ago, this March 28, which is coming up in 2 weeks, 2 weeks time. She will, and then she's finished her chemo last week, this Feb. So, first of all, to Naida, congratulations on finishing your chemotherapy. I would like to encourage you that your journey to complete healing has just only begun, right? Because you have gotten rid of the cancer, now you got to heal. You realize, right? What you did was to beat the cancer, but that doesn't mean you're restored. So your journey is right now to restore it back to good health, all right? So with that, I want to encourage you. The PIPA protocols is really, really good for that. I always tell cancer patients, when cancer patients go through resurgence, that means when the cancer comes back, they don't understand. They always say, did I do the wrong thing? How come my cancer came back? I always tell these cancer patients, no, you did the right thing. That's why you beat your cancer the first round. But what you did not do is you did not do enough. So many people stop their fight against cancer when they finish their chemotherapy and surgery. But that's not true. It's like, after you give birth to your baby, your sleepless nights has just begun, right? You've got to change diapers, you got to raise the kid until he can go to poo-poo on his own, right? So it's the same. The moment you finish your your chemotherapy, now is the time. Now is the time to do all the things that's going to make you healthy and going to make you strong and going to keep the cancer away. So please, I sincerely urge you from the bottom of my heart that you go for a consult with Dr. Jansen so that cancer will never come back in your life. And for this, Sheila, you can share, right? Dominic beat cancer, but what did you do? What did you do when his cancer markers went back to normal? How did you keep the cancer away?
I actually couldn't agree with you with what you said a while ago, because the time that
Sheila, maybe a bit of background. Why are we talking about who's Dominic and why are we talking about him?
Well, my son Dominic was diagnosed with stage 4 nasopharyngeal way back 2018. He was just 4 years old back then. We went through the chemotherapy sessions. In the middle, we also had the radiation. But of course, just like all of the patients and viewers, some of here right now, who are hesitant to go for the treatment, I was too like that. I was like that as well, and it was really the integrative doctor who suggested and actually begged for us to really go for the treatment because of the malignancy, because of the aggressiveness of the cancer. So just like I said, we finished off the chemotherapy treatment and also the radiation. And since after the treatment, it's actually that was the time that we got a lot more vigilant. And I must say, up until now that we are in the 4th year remission with my son, I still learn a lot from Dr. Jansen and our other doctors here in Simply Nature, because this is also what Sir Sean is always telling us. This remission stage is also the best time to knock out all the remaining cancers inside your body. So go for the protocol and go for the consult with Dr. Jansen Calalan. He will guide you on how to really prevent. It's really scary to go and to have that relapse and recurrence, because like Sir Sean and Dr. Jansen mentioned in the previous webinars, it's a lot difficult, a more different battle in terms of taking the chemotherapy, because the cells actually evolve in terms of when it recurred, right? So that is something that we really want to prevent. And I hope that this will encourage a lot of patients out there and our viewers out there who are in remission to stay in remission, no recurrence, and stay, of course, vigilant. Do everything that you can. Get all the help that you can get to prevent this.
And to encourage everyone, I once met a lady in her late 40s or maybe early 50s. So she had cancer very young, but she stayed cancer-free for 20 years. And when I was talking to her, guess what? She is still looking and adjusting her lifestyle to be healthier and healthier. So she actually really was plant-based whole food. She stayed that way and she was cancer-free for 20 years. Wow, and when I saw her, she was not only cancer-free, she looked fantastic. So to Miss Naida, again, congratulations, you finished your chemotherapy. We join you in prayer that the final diagnostics will come out that everything is normal. And this is where you really start the next phase. Make yourself so healthy that the cancer will not come back again. All right, so please, I urge you, have a consult with Dr. Jansen. He's an expert in this area. He'll help you make sure that the chances of cancer coming back is lowered, all right, or eliminated if possible. I saw a question which I must answer. It's from Miss Corinne Rabe.
Yeah.
She asked, should chocolate be avoided? And I want to share with you, my wife is like my chocolate police, okay? So I managed to convince her. So Doc, if I'm wrong, please tell me, okay? But first of all, I love chocolate a lot. So I had to make a choice, right? Either no chocolate or dark chocolate. Okay, so dark chocolate is better than no chocolate. So now you're gonna ask me, what percentage of cocoa do you need to find? So the great news is that now it seems like not only you and me, but in general the whole world is getting more health conscious. And right now there are many chocolate brands that sell dark chocolate, and now they put their percentage of the cocoa on the packaging. Because people are choosing the chocolate that is healthier, that you can eat with less fear, right? And that magic number is, it must be at least 70% cocoa, okay? So that's your dark chocolate. Go for the 70% dark chocolate. They come in many flavors. The one with raspberry, I love the ones, dark chocolate with raspberry or cherries. That's my favorite. So yeah, Dr. Jansen, please say that it's okay to eat some dark chocolate.
Okay. Yeah, also for cancer patients.
Yeah, I mean, especially for cancer patients.
For cancer patients, okay. For cancer patients, you have to be very picky, because you have to look at the label and read it, especially in the ingredients list. So if the chocolate brand that you found has casein or whey in it, those are dairy derivatives, so avoid them, because those two ingredients can increase a substance inside our body that can stimulate tumor growth. Okay, so that is IGF-1 or insulin-like growth factor 1. Okay, so again, casein increases that substance. So if that substance increase, tumors inside your body will grow. Okay, so if you're a cancer patient, avoid that. Okay. But if you're not a cancer patient, then yeah, by all means, go ahead.
There you go. So learn to enjoy your dark chocolate. I used to hate dark chocolate because I used to be able to, my wife used to, before I was married, I didn't have a chocolate police, right? So I naturally gravitated towards milk chocolate because that's usually what kids eat, right? But after I got married, I had a chocolate police. So in order to still be legal and eat chocolate, I had to migrate into dark chocolate. And yeah, I learned to love dark chocolate because dark chocolate is better than no chocolate. So, and then I found a whole world of dark chocolate, which is really smooth. There are some brands that are really nice. And I also changed my approach towards buying chocolate. Last time is the more the merrier, right? So now, with the same budget, I buy a much smaller, much more expensive chocolate bar. Okay, so that has two effects. One is that the quality of the chocolate is nicer. The second effect is that I eat less chocolate because it's more expensive. So I spend the same amount of money, but I eat a smaller chunk of chocolate because I buy the small, expensive, healthier chocolate, right? Because the darker the chocolate, the more expensive it actually is. So that's a win-win in every direction. Okay, so there you go. We can eat our chocolate.
And shout out to Mom Jaslyn, of course.
To my wife. All right.
Okay. Just before we go to the next question, I just want to greet Sir Mr. Ramirez. Thank you for joining us last night and also joining us tonight. We also have a viewer coming from Baguio. Where is it? I'll just greet you a while later again. So for the next question that we have, okay, Doc, can PPARs help, coming from Miss Alice, Doc, can PPARs help in removing or eliminating the tumor after operation? I was diagnosed with rectal cancer stage 3B. I've undergone oral chemo. because I'm already done with 8 sessions of chemotherapy and 25 sessions of radiation.
Wow.
Wow. And the tumor is still there?
Seems so, because he was asking if PPARs can help out in eliminating this.
And you've underwent surgery. Tumor is still there. It's a recurrence.
Yep. Then you need to. And I actually know what Doc Jansen will prescribe to you, but I'll let him be the one. Okay.
Yeah,
so
you need to. Because it seems that there's no other option.
you have exhausted a lot of the oncological tools.
I have in my mind another option that you can explore, no, but this is quite expensive, no, immunotherapy. The good news is you can combine immunotherapy and PPAR protocols. It will make the immunotherapy much more effective, actually. So you can utilize both. You can utilize only PPAR protocol depending on the financial capacity, no. But the answer is yes. I have to know more about your case so I can make the proper recommendation. So please go for a consult with us so I can make the necessary recommendations. Okay.
So very positive. I'm very positive about this. Also, we're very confident that we are able to help. So don't give up hope. There is hope, and it's good, right? So go for a consult, and we'll take a look at the situation. There are options available, and these are not last options. These are good options, all right? So, I hope you are encouraged, that you're glad that you are here tonight and that you receive good news, all right? Okay. Yes. Alice says, how about eating pure cocoa? Thumbs up, all right? That's okay, I saw Lynn Cordero. She asked something which I actually want to make a comment on, because she said, non-stick pans, is it advisable to stop using it when coating starts to decay?
Interesting.
Let me tell you what, let me give you my advice, since you're asking for advice. Don't use non-stick pans. Okay, just don't use non-stick pans. If you don't use non-stick pans, then what kind of pans do you use? Buy a high quality stainless steel pan. If it's smooth, it will be non-stick like. Not as good as non-stick, but you can safely use like your sponge, the green. You don't have to use steel wool. Okay, please, when you buy a high quality stainless steel frying pan, don't use the steel wool, all right? Because the moment you scratch your stainless steel pan, the more the food will get stuck on it, all right? So the most you can use is a Scotch Brite, the soft sponge. They have the yellow side and the green side, right? But they are both still soft. It's not yellow. It's not steel wool. Okay. You can use the green, slightly harder green plastic side to scrub your iron stainless steel pan. But please do not use a steel wool to scrub. What do you use your steel wool to scrub? You use it to scrub cast iron pans. You don't use it to scrub your polished stainless steel pan. And if you ever buy those incredibly expensive frying pans that are made from surgical steel, like your Salad Master, which is one set of cooking pots is 120,000 pesos, all right? But you can actually burn something, flush it underwater, and nothing is even better than the non-stick, okay? But basically, don't use non-stick frying pans. I don't have them in my house anymore. I used to, but and don't believe the new coating. Here it is, right? I ask, no matter what the marketing tells you, here it is. If your non-stick frying pan, after using for some times, it becomes not as non-stick as before. So here's the question: where did the non-stick chemical go to? Why is it not as slippery as it used to be? So where did the chemical go to? It went to your food, and it went into your body. So the truth is, if your non-stick frying pan can lose its non-stickiness, where did that non-stickiness go to? Where did that Teflon go to? It went into your food, it went into your body. So don't use non-stick frying pans. Buy a high quality stainless steel pan. Change the pan more often if it really gets damaged. Don't use a steel wool on your frying pan, okay?
Yeah, that's true. So I completely agree, okay? Teflon is carcinogenic, okay? I rather you use cast iron or stainless steel. Those
Oh.
are the safest.
NIDA, plain powdered milk and 3-in-1 coffee. Is it prohibited or in moderation? Easy. Prohibited.
Yeah.
Okay, prohibited.
I actually had a talk with the Toll Regulatory Board a while ago, no? So in one of my talks, the topic is 10 things in our modern lifestyle that harms us, okay, or harm our body, or that makes us unhealthy. And food is one of them. I was actually asking them, okay, so the people there actually served us instant coffee. Okay, I'm not gonna mention the brand, but instant coffee. So I immediately took notice. Okay, so here's an example. So don't use anything that has casein. So I was beginning to discuss about the thing that I talked about a while ago, right? So take a look at the ingredients list. Then I picked up the sachet.
The sachet of 3-in-1.
Read, okay, Does it have these ingredients? Lo and behold, it does. Okay, so now you know this brand should not be drank. Okay, so yeah, especially for cancer patients. Again, casein is a no-no. Whey protein is a no-no. Okay, this also applies for CKD patients. Okay, patients with chronic kidney disease. That's a no-no. Okay, that can harm your body. Okay, so be careful. Okay, yeah.
So I want to share with you, hope is not lost. Okay, number 1, black coffee, no sugar, pure black coffee is actually good.
Yeah.
One person that is a great testimony to it is Miss Germaine Rivera, one of my directors at Simply Nature. If you cut her veins, blood will not come out. Black coffee will come out. She drinks a lot of black coffee, but yet she looks very young and is healthy. So the problem with coffee is not the coffee. The problem with coffee is the milk and sugar you put in your coffee. Okay, so if those of you who really need your coffee to be a little bit creamy, I suggest drinking oat milk. All right? Oat milk. Nowadays, you can go to any supermarket, and now they sell oat milk. You don't have to go to any specialty store anymore. A normal SM will sell oat milk. Okay, so oat milk does not have any cow's milk in there. It's rice and oats, okay? And it's creamy because they grind the rice up. And how many of you know, when you cook oatmeal, you cook oatmeal, it gets sticky, it gets gooey, right? So it gets thick. So that's why oat milk has the consistency of like milk, a bit thicker. Give your body more coffee. And try it. It actually tastes really good. I for one, don't like to use soy milk in my coffee. It tastes horrible. It has a sour aftertaste, weird, right? But oat milk does not.
Is wonderful.
It's
Yes,
wonderful.
I agree.
Okay, so or you can change it to dark chocolate and oat milk, right? So that those are the alternatives you can. So please don't do 3-in-1 anymore. It's really bad for you. Another great drink that you can drink is actually just plain tea. Miss Sheila gave me a funny face when I brought her to when we ate at a restaurant, and she drank the tea. I ordered house tea. She drank it, and then she looked at me weird. Why? Because the tea has no sugar in it. It's like the first time in her life she drank tea without sugar. Okay, it was bland. But if you drink it after a while, you'll find that it's delicious because you're also aware that it's really healthy and good for you. And it's a nice taste, right? If not, drink plain water. That's the best. Okay?
It's a good thing that we are discussing this because what's also good about it, the Starbucks, the Coffee Bean, they have these options of
oat milk now. Everywhere
already.
there's oat milk now. It used to be soy milk, which I hated. So I just stopped drinking coffee altogether. But now that they brought oat milk in, I can drink my cappuccino again. All right. Alice asked about drinking Ensure and Lean. For cancer patients, we really still strongly advise to take plant-based proteins. In the past, it was difficult to get plant-based proteins, so I guess Ensure and Lean is a good alternative. But today, if you go to Healthy Options, you can find plant protein shakes, right? So if your doctor wants you to put on weight because of your cancer treatment, you're losing weight, and you need to drink something with a high protein content, go to those health stores like Healthy Options, healthy options should give me free stuff because I keep saying, yeah, right? Yeah, healthy options, they have all these plant-based protein shakes. My wife used to drink a very famous chocolate drink like Milo, you know. Then she noticed over me too. I used to love Milo, but those of you who grew up drinking Milo, I don't know whether you've noticed, over the years, the taste has changed quite a lot. It now tastes oily.
It became more sweeter.
Sweeter and oily. It's like oily, like drinking glue kind of feeling. It's not that chocolatey melt in your mouth. It doesn't melt in your mouth. It's like oily and sweet. Okay, so when we read the ingredients, we have seen a lot change, a lot more palm oil than anything else inside. So my wife made a decision, instead of drinking Milo in the morning now, she drinks a plant-based chocolate-flavored protein shake. So it tastes really, it tastes good. Okay, it does taste good. So it's weird because most people drink a plant-based protein shake cold. Yeah, my wife drinks it hot. All right. So it's like so it's like a less sweet Milo, but you will feel so good because guess what? The protein comes from peas, green beans, peas, not just soya bean. Okay, everybody keeps thinking only soya bean. No, it comes from peas, and green beans and things like that. So it's really nice. So I think that is the better alternative than milk-based drinks. Okay. So yeah, even I think the brands Enlean and Ensure, I noticed they are also coming out with plant-based.
Plant-based versions. Actually, Ensure has one. Enlean, I'm not sure.
So here it is. If Ensure themselves realize, let's make a plant-based Ensure. What do you think? Yeah, what do you think? Right? Obviously, it's the better option. Maybe in the past it was not as well understood, but now we know.
And it's also because it's the only choice, no? And the dairy dairy is way cheaper because of
dairy is cheaper, all right, but it's more expensive to treat cancer than to drink plant-based shakes. Yeah, so there you go.
Well, plant-based options are really a trend now.
Yeah,
That's
very different
good
options
for everybody.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Sir Sean. Okay, another question. Okay. How can PPARs help for cancer patients?
A lot of ways. Specifically, what? Okay. There's a lot. Okay. However, so for cancer, let's just focus on treatment. So for cancer, it's usually chemotherapy, radiation therapy. Okay. So of course, how can PPARs help you? Know if you're going to undergo those two. Number one, protect your bone marrow so that when you undergo those two procedures, those two therapies, your immune system do not decrease, the immune system function do not decrease so much. So that's one. Okay, so another one, PPARs can also make the effect of the chemotherapy or certain chemotherapy drugs more hostile to the cancer itself. Also, of course, the PPAR protocols that we have, because it's derived from microalgae, it can also protect the healthy cells. Okay, because it has very good anti-inflammatory properties as well. Okay, so those are just some. No? For immunotherapy, we have a whole episode. I think it was 3 episodes about immunotherapy and how can PPARs help. Go and watch that. But to give you the short answer, if you are someone undergoing immunotherapy, PPARs can make the immunotherapy more effective. Okay, it can make your immune system more effective in killing off the cancer cells, and at the same time protect your healthy cells. Okay, those are just some. There are a lot more. So there you go.
Okay. This might be our last question for tonight before you give out their parting words. Coming from Ms. Rowena, Doc, what about Beneprotein milk? Is it advisable?
Wait, let me check the brand, okay? Beneprotein, but Beneprotein ingredients. So we have to take a look at the ingredients. It's by Nestle.
We did have a lot of good questions tonight. And I noticed that you keep on repeating about metabolism and fiber. And no wonder that Dr. Jansen is always including on his protocols the cleansing plus. most especially with heavy medication patients, right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Here's the thing about bene protein. Just by seeing here, whey is one of the ingredients. It's a protein isolate derived from milk, so the answer is no. Okay, for cancer patients, avoid this.
Someone texted me, Enlene and sometimes Ensure is also taken because of calcium content. So you're smiling. So what's your comments about that? About calcium content?
Why are you taking in calcium in the first place? Is it for your bones? Okay. So if it is for your bones, the next question that we have to answer is, if you take in those two drinks, no, will the calcium be absorbed in the first place? Okay? Because you need sunlight, you need vitamin D to absorb those. Now, if you do get to absorb those from your intestine and it goes to your blood, okay, does it go to your skeletal system? Okay? Because if it doesn't, then you pee it out. Okay, so if you want to build bones, no, of course we have to have the proper nutrition. But the calcium, it's not just the minimum calcium requirements, no, for you to build bones. Of course, to build bones you need calcium. But the more important question is, how do you really build bones? Is it just the calcium? And are there other things that we need to do? Which is, of course, the answer is yes. To build bones, you need to exercise. Okay? To strengthen bones, you need to exercise. Okay, so calcium has to be there. Movement or exercise has to be there. If one is lacking, it will be difficult for our body to build bones. And the next question is, how is the calcium packaged? Here's the thing. Dairy, okay, cannot build bones. Okay? It cannot help your body build bones.
Wow, that's totally opposite from what all the cheese commercials tell us.
This had been...
right? Everybody, right? We watched the commercials about 1 glass of milk helps healthy bones.
It's also a call out to all the moms out there for their kids.
It has been there since the time of our grandparents. Okay, it has been the advocacy for at least 100 years already, I think, no. But however, no, when studies came out and when they looked at populations, okay, the populations in the world where there is a very high incidence rate of osteoporosis are the same countries which have a high consumption of dairy. So if dairy prevents osteoporosis, how come do these countries have osteoporosis?
Yes.
Have high incidence.
And I want to say, the Shaolin monks of ancient China who do crazy martial arts and supposedly have unbreakable bones, Chinese don't drink milk.
Because we are lactose intolerant.
So obviously we got our calcium from somewhere else. And another thing, imagine the animals with the strongest or most strongest bones. We are talking about our beast of burden. We're talking about the horses. They are pulling heavy weights. You're talking about your mules, your camels, your elephants, your hippopotamus, all these very animals that carry very heavy loads. They don't drink milk. Okay, so
this is actually funny.
So where did they get their calcium from? Here's the question: where did your horse get his calcium from? He got it from plants. And I think that answers the question, doesn't it?
And it's actually funny because I think humans are the only species in the animal kingdom that, as adults, we still continue to drink milk of another species.
Yeah, so if you are lactose intolerant, do you know that if you are lactose intolerant, you're normal? And that if you can tolerate lactose, it's something that you learn because you never stop drinking milk. You are supposed... You know why we become lactose intolerant?
Why?
So that we will stop drinking our mother's milk. Or else you'll be sucking on your mother's milk. What makes you stop? What makes you stop? It's not, those of you who are mothers, right? As long as you keep feeding your baby milk, you will keep producing milk. That's why there used to be yayas who are nannies. They no longer have babies of their own, but they kept breastfeeding, so their body kept producing milk, right? So the way that the body, the reason why you're supposed to be lactose intolerant is because as a baby, you reach a point where you're supposed to stop drinking milk, so your stomach becomes intolerant to it. It's the nature's way of stopping you from drinking milk. But all of us develop lactose tolerance because we never stopped drinking milk. We kept forcing ourselves to, right? So that's more of an adaptation rather than being normal. So to all those who are lactose intolerant out there, guess what? Tonight you realize you are the normal one and the rest of us are the abnormal ones. So
if you really love to drink milk, then go plant-based, right?
Yeah, that's right. I drink a lot. I drink oat milk now. You can't find dairy milk in my fridge. Okay, but there is one exception, Doc. I have to confess. Ice cream.
What is it?
Okay. Although when I do get a chance nowadays, it's really catching up. Nowadays, plant-based ice cream, like made from coconut milk, tastes good. You know, I never compare like plant-based ice cream to dairy ice cream. I don't say that the plant-based ice cream tastes like real ice cream. To me, I don't care whether it's like real ice cream or not. I only care one thing: does it taste good? So the good news is now some brands of plant-based ice cream, like made from coconut milk, actually taste really good. I would eat it not because it's plant-based. I eat it because it tastes good. Yeah, the only thing is it's slightly more expensive. So and I do like Magnum. So they don't make plant-based coconut Magnum. So if they do, I will switch over, right?
Who knows?
Yeah, soon they'll do that soon. All right.
Okay. Just of course, we would like to say thank you to all our viewers for tonight. But before we say goodbye to them, I'd like to please ask for very quick parting words from the both of you. Maybe starting off with Dr. Jansen.
Yeah. So everyone, so I hope you learned a lot tonight. There are a lot of questions that are were raised were really good. No? So please continue asking these questions so that we get to answer them. So. Everybody learns from the questions that you ask, no? So thank you for watching our 103rd episode, no? So tomorrow is officially the 2-year mark. The next week is officially the 2-year mark. So thank you everybody. Pass it on to Shad.
I thank everybody. We had a really good and lively conversation today again. We got to share about frying pans. Don't use non-stick. They are really good alternatives. I think it's conversations like this that make our program less serious sometimes, because cancer is a very serious topic. But there are a lot of actually very fun topics to talk about that will bring a smile to those of you who are fighting cancer. And also, I'm so glad tonight we were able to answer some questions, and that many viewers actually found a strategy and an action plan to move forward. So for all of you that have plans to move forward, please confirm your consults. There'll be someone reaching out to you. And please, when you are healed, right, come back and share your testimony on the program live, right? So we really appreciate that, and have a great week ahead. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Are we gonna announce the split?
Oh yeah, we should announce, right? Okay. Okay, come April, there's gonna be a there's gonna be a major change in our program format, based on the customers of our viewers' feedback. They would like a different feel or approach to your Thursday nights. So starting in April, me and Dr. Jansen will be alternating. So on Thursdays, where it's with Dr. Jansen, it will be a little bit more medical. On Thursdays that I'll be hosting with Sheila, it will be a bit more like live application. All right. So we wanted to, me and Doc Jansen are going through separation. All right. No. We've decided to do our program separately so that we can give our viewers a different feel. All right. No, you've had 103 episodes of us together. So we thought that let's shake it up a little. So we'll alternate 1 week a bit more medical, the other week a bit more, I'm the fun one, right? Yeah. he's the technical guy. So so like I said, there'll be a shake-up. This will be in April. Let us know what you think about it. Give us feedback whether you like the variety and the different styles, because when we are together, our style is merged into one,
yes.
right? So when we separate, Doc Jansen can go a little bit more serious and really, really medical. I can go a bit more esoteric, and I guarantee you, because I'm going to compete with Doc Jansen for ratings, right? Later this year, as I'll bring lots of TCM stuff in, right? So that's going to be interesting. So watch my program more than his. Okay. All right. But if you want us to be together again, no problem. We can always do that once a month or something like that. So give us your feedback. All right. We are here for you.
Yeah, that's actually the one that I was about to say. That Sir Sean is actually a TCM, or traditional Chinese medicine advocate. So, yeah, you can ask questions about this.
Yeah, you can ask questions about that, right? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Sean. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. I'm sure a lot of, on behalf of our viewers for tonight, thank you for answering our questions for this topic. I just want, of course, to invite everybody next week. That's March 23. The title of our webinar is 2 Natural Secrets to Prevent Colon Cancer. So this is still in line with the Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month this March. So please do watch, and please share our events to your friends and families out there, most especially to your fellow patients in your hospitals. Like I said a while ago, our Sir Sean and Dr. Jansen has been kept on reiterating about the metabolism, about fiber. Please do check out how effective our PPARs and cleansing class on our products are available on Lazada and also on Shopee. Not only on Lazada, we are actually on Laz Malls. More authentic. It's legit, okay? Also available here in our office. Okay, all right. So once again, thank you so much. Your victories over your cancers is what keeps us going here in Simply Nature and also in Simply Healed Medical Group. So with that, here in Simply Nature, we are always with you from start to healing. Thank you, everybody. Good night, and God bless you all.